So good afternoon. This is Pam Lippitt from the Hill Street Group. And after a little technical difficulties, we are here live with you on Facebook. And you can watch us live now or watch our playback a little bit later. Today I'm with Tim Romisch of Utility Management Systems. And as you know, I've been doing some different spotlights on small business just to do my part during this lovely pandemic. I'm hoping that my the software isn't working great today, so I think there's a little bit of a lag, but I'm sure you will stick with us. So at this point, I want to introduce Tim, and I really have never met Tim in person, but I just joined the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, and Tim is in one of the work groups that I'm in so far for the chamber, and it was very interesting information, and I thought that it was good to share. So Tim, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got to where you are, and then we'll talk about what your company does.
All right. Well, thank you, Pam. And I want to thank Hill Street Group for this opportunity to talk a bit about what I'm terming energy savings in the new normal. So on behalf of Utility Management Services, want to thank you for this opportunity. I know that Hill Street Group's all about, and you're all about helping people maximize their voice.
Right.
And so doing, you're creating confident organizations and leaders. So I really appreciate this opportunity to do that. So a little bit about, we'll talk a little bit later about what I'm terming the new normal. I think we all are kind of been inundated with that term, but
a new normal, I know now of what you speak.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that, Pam. What is the new normal? Is there really a new normal? Is this a temporary new normal? It used to be we dreamed about the good old days, and the good old days now are 2019.
Or February.
Or February of 2020, the good old days. Even my kids are like, oh, remember back then when? So it's funny, the good old days have become recent. But we'll talk a little bit about what I mean by the new normal. I mean, I think we all are kind of defining that, and it's a very liquid term. But so, yeah, I've had a past decade or so, I've worked in digital marketing with a couple companies and then my own company as well in the Detroit, Metro Detroit area, really Michigan. And really with an emphasis in manufacturing, with manufacturing companies, financial, and nonprofits. That's where my focus has been with the digital things that I've been doing. And by digital marketing, I'm talking about websites and paid media advertising, paid social media advertising as well, paid advertising through Google, those type of things, SEO. And earlier this year, I had the opportunity to join Utility Management Services because, and what brought me to that was I think some of my background with Michigan businesses, them wanting to open up Michigan a little bit more. And so there was just a great synergy there. I'll tell you a little bit about what we do later on, but one thing that excites me is the service that Utility Management Service is providing. It really, really genuinely helps businesses and organizations. As I said, I had a lot of work with nonprofits. I'm working currently with a lot of nonprofits. It's just a great way to uncover, really to help with the bottom line. So I really believe in the charter of the company, what they're doing to help businesses and organizations reduce their utility bills without any changes to their day-to-day operations. So this opportunity came up. This was March, back after the good old days.
Well, I'm just gonna pop in and say that I think when we talk about the new normal, I think one of the resets that's going to be happening is people really want to work for companies or put a piece into their life that has a greater impact on good. I think that, the Gordon Geckos of the world hopefully are going to disappear a little bit and things won't be as selfish. I think what we're learning now is how we're interdependent. We're we're dependent on our family just so we don't go stir crazy, but we're interdependent on each other, and how we work together is certainly showing how we work for the good. And I know you must miss the networking opportunities in person. I never thought I would miss waking up early to get to an 8 o'clock or a 7:30 networking event, but I really do, which to me is just, anyone who knows me who's watching this will know how crazy it is that I miss waking up early, but crazy. But, I think that what you're doing and how this kind of morphed into your career shows kind of the example of where we need to reset our lives.
Yes, and I would echo that. I've been out dealing with a lot of different Michigan businesses and organizations from so many different sectors, really just trying to explain what we do. But, I really am very relational. So I will talk to people. I want to get to know, how are they doing in terms of their business? What are things they're doing to adjust to the new normal? And it is amazing. I'll echo that. I think businesses are much more aware of other businesses, and we're all kind of have this group experience of going through this hard time together. And I think it's very bonding. Now, some businesses are already, being hit very hard, as we all know. But to see, and actually, I wrote some words back here, just some things that people have talked to me about. I'm hearing a lot of the I, they want to improvise and innovate, and we all know we do that in business. I think, that learn in school, business school, you have this plan and at A, B, and C, and we know. And I saw your interview with Gene Adams, which that was a
right
virology. That's just amazing thing. But she had talked about that too, how you learn this in school, but then when you go out and you do it, it's not.
Right. So I need you to move back into your screen a little bit. So we see your face. No, I think that, and I need to find that little picture, but there's like a picture of what we think is going to happen, and it's a very straight line. But the reality is it's just up and down and up and down. And, it shows, it just shows we have to be persistent, and we have to kind of get behind the doors and figure out the next step, and just take that quiet time to figure it out. But I will give a shout out to Gina Adams of Wearology and her product Buttons to Buttons. I interviewed her last week, so you can find that on my Facebook or my LinkedIn feed. And it's a great product for helping people with physical challenges to dress themselves. So we like it.
When I saw that, I was amazed at, here's a need, and Gina had a background with, she had someone in her family have a disability and something not super complex, but, she had that background in apparel, and she's bringing a very needed thing. So I thought it was very neat. But I heard her talk about the improvise, innovate. I've had people say fun. They said this is a fun time. This is a time for success, creativity. I heard fun from a couple people. So I think people, we're very resilient. People in business are very resilient. We're going to face these challenges. And so I'm hopeful as I go out and talk to people. I haven't talked to a business yet where they just said, we're just throwing in the towel, we're giving it up.
Right.
So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you're the only person in Michigan who's representing your company, if I'm correct.
No, we have a couple other people.
Okay.
But we just are handling Michigan together. We have a couple other people, but my focus is Metro Detroit and really it's all of Michigan, Michigan. But I'm resident in the Metro Detroit area, so I'm doing a lot of work in mid-Michigan. I've been I've even in contact with businesses in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, way up there. So all of Michigan, but we have a couple other people doing this as well.
Great. So tell me, so we first started talking because I'm on the board of my condo, and you talked in a meeting about saving money without spending money. So usually there's a spend up front. And one of the things that seems to be really interesting is that there isn't a spend up front for businesses.
That's correct. That's well stated, Pam. What we do, I can kind of just go through what we do, and it'll tie right into that, no spending up front. We provide off-site, contingency-based utility bill audit and analysis services. Off-site means we're not coming into your building, we're not changing bulbs or consulting on LED. We think that stuff's great, that's just not what we do. contingency based in that we are paid out of what we create in terms of savings. So we're not charging anything, and we're definitely not charging up front. I'll speak to that in a moment. And what we do is we provide utility bill audit analysis services, gas and electric. In Michigan, our two big providers are Consumer Energy and DTE, and both have ample opportunities within that realm for doing an audit and trying to uncover past overages and billing errors, as well as getting companies on the best rate rider plan or the best plan for them moving forward versus the best plan for the power provider. So we will, and we do that. So we're able to provide these savings by performing the audit, discovering the savings, advising, and getting you on the right rate rider plan, and also trying to uncover past overages and billing errors that we can result in sometimes refunds to businesses, and sometimes
I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to get a refund.
That's true. All our refunds, tax refunds. I just got a tax refund. I was very blessed.
Mine hasn't come through yet.
I was like, what? Oh, it's wonderful. You're right. Refunds.
So in those good old days, how did you connect with companies, and what are you doing now to connect?
Well, I did want to say one other thing to your question. Sure. And I'll answer that. So when we do these audits, so we can make these, bring these savings without any change to your day-to-day operations, which is important. But to your point, we don't charge anything up front. There's no out of pocket. And the way that works is if we discover savings, and just let's say it's $1,000 a month, the business will get those savings for 3 months before they're invoiced from anything from us, from our percentage of the savings.
Oh, okay.
So there's never any upfront costs. They get 3 months of savings before they're invoiced for our portion.
And your portion is then a percentage of the savings? Or?
Yeah. Yes, it's a percentage of the savings. And probably the best thing about this, Pam, is there's no risk whatsoever. If we do the audit and there's no savings, we don't charge. And
folks, for people who are listening, and I know a lot of people in my network who own commercial buildings and apartments and condo managers, this is for you. So these are places that you can really either give benefit to your clients, because if it's a pass-through bill, they're saving money, or you can save on your bottom line, which means you may not have to raise rent, and those are things that are really important in today's world.
Yes, thank you. Great points.
Yeah, so it's what I do.
You maximize. I wrote down your charter. I love that. You help people maximize their voice. I just like that. And I would just tell anyone who's watching this, watch your other interviews. Those are really fascinating.
Oh, thank you.
I like that you provide a script of what you're going to ask us before.
I refused. So I'm just popping up on the screen that your mission as well to help businesses and organizations realize significant annual savings and refunds, and that's really such an important thing. I like anyone who wants to help someone. That's kind of the bottom line these days. So I find I'm gaining this I would say a mutual admiration society, but it's not that. I just think we're in a place where it is up to us to support each other. And this is, I said, I'm right now not standing on a food line, helping people with food today. Not that I don't do those things as well, but for today, this is what I can do to help other people. And I think our small businesses, this is not a business with 5 million people who are looking for PPE. I'm really annoyed with that. Can I say that? And so it's really the smaller businesses that are taking the bigger hit, that don't have, the relationships at those levels with banks.
And I agree. And to your point and to what you're doing, I think what you're doing is just helping. You've been very encouraging to me as well, but to other businesses, just to give us more of a voice and to be able to say what we're doing and what we're providing for businesses. And again, one of the things I've loved about UMS is just it's good. It's good. It's helping businesses. We're very minimally invasive. We basically can do our audits with a couple pieces of signed documents and 1 month's copy of bills for each of their accounts, and we run these audits, and it's no risk. So, but it's a good thing. So I think at my season in life, it's really easy for me to get behind something that I really believe in. I definitely believe in it. I feel we're bringing some good. And when I see companies get these refunds or say, wow, I'm going to be saving this kind of money moving forward, and I don't have to change anything. You don't have to change light bulbs or anything.
Right.
Really, it's exciting.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, I'm excited. And to your earlier question, before, in the good old days, how did we interact with people? Well, we went to social events, we talked face to face. Just seems so long ago.
I know.
But I think we did some networking, and I think this is another value that all of the folks watching and all of us can bring out of this is we've improvised and we've become innovative, and we're doing it right. But I too miss the face to face.
Right. So, and then, so how do you think the biggest way do you mostly do like connected calls? I'm going to lead somewhere with this. That are referrals kind of your bailiwick, or are you mostly? I hate to use the word cold call, though I've done that certainly in my life.
Yeah, we all have. I know.
Yeah.
Mine is mostly, to this point, again, has been mostly people I know. It's been word of mouth. Relationships I have with people who recommend someone else to me. Some of it's just when I get in front of someone and they see, wow, this is really good. There's no risk. It's not going to cost anything. There's no money out of pocket. They pretty gladly will recommend. So, but most of mine has been relational. People I've known. I've done some cold calling. We also do email campaigns. UMS is great at supporting us with email campaigns. They're a great organization for support, giving support.
Right.
Well,
yeah. So I'm going to assume that you would be willing to grow your LinkedIn connection list. So unless you tell me differently, I put your LinkedIn address up on the screen, and I encourage people who see this or who know people to connect with Tim on LinkedIn. I know it's become one of my biggest sources of networking these days.
Yes, LinkedIn's been great. I use the Sales Navigator aspect of LinkedIn, which I would highly recommend, which again was another thing that UMS really has supported us in and encouraged us to go in that direction. It's been invaluable. But thank you for sharing that. Yes, send me a connection and I'll connect.
Okay. And then I also want to remind people that either if you're watching live now, I know we changed our times up a little bit, or later, you can connect. You can ask any questions. I'll be going back a little later, checking for any comments or questions, and one of us will get back to you, because that's what we do. And let us know where you're calling, where you're watching from, because that just gives us a better feeling as we go forward. So what do you think is next for you? How do you think you're going to expand or double or quadruple your connections?
Yes, to all the above. No. I think with what we're offering, it's just going to keep growing. I think, during the current challenges that we're facing with businesses, the message we have is pretty welcoming, in that we're telling people you can pay less to your power provider by on a better rate rider plan, or negotiating a better kilowatt per hour, or whatever it is. Wait. You can negotiate the price of your kilowatt per hour? Well, you have to go into an existing rate rider combination, as far as my full understanding, that you actually have to be fit in. But in some cases, I believe it can be negotiated, a better rate rider combination. But our main emphasis is just getting you in the best ones that already exist.
Right.
So I think because we have that message, it's very positive that So I see just growth. I see growth in, I'm dealing with many sectors. I mean, I wrote down some. I've been dealing with manufacturing, property and office management, buildings. I know office management and office space, a lot of it's becoming more empty. So they still have challenges. And even during a downtime, they're still running energy though. So
right.
that's the thing, even if things are down, we're all running energy. Restaurants and hotels, medical centers. I've been talking to a couple medical centers or rehab centers, nonprofits. I know they're near and dear to your heart, Pam.
Right.
My heart. I love helping businesses. I love that UMS is helping businesses, but I really love that to help nonprofits that are trying to help other people. So to your question, I think we're just going to continue to grow into different sectors. Car dealerships, educational systems, retail stores, municipalities. All of these are things that we've done work for in the past. And if you go to our website, you can see utilitymanagement.com. You can see that we've worked with over 10,000 customers. We're a Better Business Bureau, A+ rated company in so many different sectors. A lot of churches and religious organizations as well. So.
I'm gonna send your information to a few other people I know. I know that the synagogue I belong to, last week we got a notice that there won't be services for the high holidays in the fall in person. It'll be Zoomed, and those are facilities and sanctuaries built for where I belong, 2,000-3,000 people at the holidays. And those buildings have been really sitting empty since March. It's like unbelievable. So there's real opportunities in those kinds of places. And, I'm kind of connected into a lot of those people as well. So I'm going to send this on to a few people for you. And we can, and it's what I can do right now. So we'll see from there. And so we're coming in on about a half hour, believe it or not. Wow. What do you think? How do you think people can do the best they can do through this thing? Give me your best guess at where we're going to be a year from now.
Well, there's so many different varying opinions, but I'm an optimist. I'm very optimistic. I think, I hate to sound old, but my generation and my parents' generation, were, really, and I think the new generation. I have 4 children between the ages of 19 and 28. They're just very resourceful. I think we as people are very resourceful, and I know my generation and my father and parents were just dig in the heels and get it done. And when I think of my parents' generation, what they had to deal with, my parents lived through the Depression, World War II,
right.
Korean War, Vietnam War, different. There was just so many challenges out there, but we still came through. And I'm totally optimistic. I think that Michigan is going to do well. I think we're seeing signs of it already. There's a lot of sectors that are doing quite well right now. Home sales are up. So I would say a year from now, I think we're just going to be stronger. And hopefully, to your point, Pam, we're going to be more caring toward one another. Small businesses will unite better. And I'm seeing that already, aren't you? Small businesses.
I am. I think people are learning bits and pieces and sharing those so that everybody doesn't have to figure it out for themselves. I think there's something that rises up. I know I was in Birmingham yesterday. I actually went in 2 stores. Where's my camera? 2 whole stores. It's the first time. And I felt the need in one. I actually bought something. And so but you know what? Even the salespeople, the demeanor, the appreciation, I think we used to be in a place, and I started when I was in high school working in a bead store in Franklin, another part of the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber. And what the owner drilled into us was to appreciate the customer, to help the customer, to make sure they walk out to talk to other people and say it was a good experience. So one of the things, I know this is kind of funny, but I've been kind of trying to hashtag things pandemic positive.
Love it.
Like, because in the middle of all this mess, we try and find that shining little glimmer that can get us through the day. And so these different podcasts and Facebook Lives are kind of getting me through the day. It's, people ask, why are you doing this? You don't have to do it. No, I don't. And, neither of us are making money doing this, but it's an opportunity to just showcase, and especially showcase what Michigan has to offer, which, is always, I'm a go blue kind of girl. So we always try and help everyone in the state, no matter what school you went to. So.
Yes, no, you're right. Michigan, nationwide, just a lot of really, really good things are going on. So I'm excited. I think we're gonna rise up, and my children a lot younger, but they have the same mentality. We're gonna find a way. And there's challenges, and I think we've been through. When you think about it, we've been through, what are we? 4th March, April, May, almost 5 full months of living differently. The new normal, if we want to call it that. And I think it's going to continue to be liquid. It's going to change day to day. But my interaction with businesses is they're really, really being innovative and they're improvising. So
great.
Very helpful.
Good. Me too. So yeah. So with that, I think we're going to kind of draw to a close. And I'm going to say that I hope that one day in the not too far, far future, we actually meet at a chamber event in person.
That's good. And I got to put in a plug for that. I love the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Unbelievable opportunities have come out of my chamber involvement. And you just meet great people like we never would have met otherwise. I've met some other folks. It's really great. Even during that little window when things opened up a little bit, I actually met a couple people face to face, safely with a mask. Yeah. But we still met. But it's the Bloomfield Birmingham Chamber of Commerce and Chamber of Commerce overall just fantastic. And I'm sure you can speak to that too, Pam.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting into it. So I joined during the pandemic. I used my stimulus money to do a couple things for my business and to help others as well. So so I haven't been to anything in person yet, but that day will come. I actually carry a folding chair in my trunk. So when I meet a friend, like at Starbucks or something, we find a piece of grass, sit a bit far apart, and sit on our folding chairs.
That's a neat idea. I do make friends everywhere, Pam.
Yeah, we try, right? I think when you're in these kind of businesses, that's the goal. So,
yes.
Well, I will let you get back to work. I will get back to work. And I hope everyone watching enjoyed this. If you have a small business you would like us to spotlight, just give me a call or shoot me an email or connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always interested in growing my presence as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.